Oh, need some help with that?
No, I got it. Somebody just came up in there and adjusted my reel or something when I wasn't looking, you know. Normally got this thing super tuned.
Yeah, okay.
Hey man, you ever think about fish being gay?
No, why would I think about fish being gay?
Daggone bird's nest up in this something. Forgot my picking tool. I think some of them might be gay, man.
I don't really care if they're gay, as long as they're big and they like to bite my lure.
You mean you never looked at one and been like, dang, that one's swimming kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sometimes they swimming all weird and you just kind of wonder, like, I wonder if he's gay, you know what I mean?
You trying to tell me something?
No, I ain't gay.
Uh-huh.
I ain't gay, man.
Are you sure? Because it kind of sounds like you're setting something up right now. Oh, I see. This is the moment where you're going to tell me something about your life. I see what you're doing here. You know, you're relating to fish. We're fishing. I always knew something about you.
Dude, I ain't gay. I like southern bells and Daisy Dukes, okay? That's all I like. And I like fish. I like fishing and I like Daisy Dukes on women, okay? No dudes.
Now, what do you know about being gay?
Well, hell, I used to watch MTV all the time. And, you know, after Beavis and Butthead and shows when them people all live in the houses and stuff come on, and, you know, daggum be like, you know, all of them gay in there, and, you know, people's gay, why not fish being gay, you know what I mean?
MTV, huh? Okay, well, I can see that.
All I'm saying is, you know, all them bass be gay, and then pretty soon there ain't no little bass running around, then you ain't got no big bass in the future is all I'm saying, you know what I mean? Dadgummit.
You know, you might actually have a point for once in your life.
Well, hey man, I bet you can't hit that lily pad out there. Watch this.
Well, there's a skit I never really thought I'd see myself doing. But hey, welcome back to the channel. And hey, if you like the skits, make sure to go ahead and share them. Share them with your friends that might think they're funny as well. And go ahead and squeeze the like button for it. A little extra effort there. I actually enjoy doing it, but I like when you guys comment and share and squeeze the like button as well. Well, fishing freaks, we're gonna talk about something very interesting today, and that is our bass turning gay. Now, when I say gay, I'm talking about our fish, and bass in particular. Are they actually transforming, becoming trans, if you will, in their gender role? So recently I came across this news article and I started reading it, and then I started digging deeper into this and realized it's kind of been an issue for a while. My curiosity in biology and my fish ecology background, what I studied in college, really made me kind of take a look at this and be interested. So I hope you find it interesting as well. I think you will. Get out the old peepers here. Over these years of fishing, it's starting to wear on me. I'm starting to have to wear spectacles here. Plus it makes me look smarter, I think. Let me know in the comments. I gotta hang out with OSG all the time. She's always, you know, smart and reading, and I'm just trying to keep up. So one of the studies I found actually dates back to 2010. Okay, this actually came out of The Guardian. All the links will be below if you guys want to check out these articles for yourself. It states that more than 80% of male bass, it says male bass fish. I always think that's funny when people say bass fish. Anyways, get it right, you know, largemouth, whatever. 80% of male bass fish in Washington's major rivers are now exhibiting female traits such as egg production because of toxic stews of pollutants. This is coming out of the Potomac River. Now, if there's any fishing freaks up there, make sure you go ahead and comment below if you've seen any crazy weird stuff. I know you guys got snakeheads and that sort of situation. It goes on to say, the suspect chemicals mimic natural hormones and disrupt the endocrine system, with young fish being particularly susceptible. Okay, some of the pollutants that they're calling that are causing this sort of issue are birth control pills, toiletries, especially those with fragrances, very interesting, and tissues treated with antibacterial agents. And the study also goes on to say that part of the problem could also be caused from runoff from fertilizers and pesticides in agricultural areas, which I actually learned a lot about in college when studying ecology and aquatic systems, and that has a major effect on fish. You know, fish soak a lot of things through their skin. It's very interesting. They're biology and how they absorb things, but they're very sensitive to things. A lot of times we see changes in the environment often first with fish just because they're more susceptible to those changes. Now the report goes on to say that it cites the U.S. Geological Survey found that intersex fish in a third of 111 sites that they tested around the country, so not just the Potomac. And of the 16 fish species studied, the condition was most common in smallmouth and largemouth bass. Now that's where it hits home for us fishing freaks. And it's most commonly reported among the males. So although researchers also discovered the occasional female fish with male characteristics, the researchers studied from the Mississippi to the Rio Grande, which is down here in my neck of the woods. So that is from the Guardian there. I saw that study in there and I was like, well, I'm gonna go in USGS and go look a little bit further. So that's the U.S. Geological Service for anyone that's never been on this site. Now, they support some other stuff like global warming that's kind of, but on this stuff right here, they had a pretty large spread study that I thought was very interesting. It says that intersex fish have now been found in Pennsylvania's Susquehanna, Delaware, and Ohio River basins. This is indicating that the effects of the endocrine disrupting chemicals are more widespread than previously known. Now this led USGS to publish a survey where they went out and they studied 2 fish species. They studied the smallmouth bass and they studied the white sucker. You guys remember the sucker? Suckers! From Missouri, those things that I was grabbing that you guys thought was kind of interesting. This is one of those species right here, red horse sucker and the white sucker. So they studied those fish along with the smallmouth bass. Now here's a section I kind of found alarming. So the male smallmouth bass from all sites sampled had immature eggs in their testes. So that means they got eggs growing in their balls. Now that's not actually the accurate anatomical, biological situation. You guys heard me use the term cloaca the other day. That's kind of their unit, but I'm talking about internally, you know, where they're supposed to be having the sperm in their testes. Now they've got female eggs. Prevalence was lowest in the Ohio drainage, intermediate in the Delaware, and highest in the Susquehanna. Those poor Susquehanna smallies. Now this is the interesting thing here. Neither the white sucker nor the red horse sucker had intersex characteristics in any basin. They did have a yolk precursor in their blood. So that's basically saying they were kind of on the verge of becoming trans, but they never really did. It's most prevalent in the bass. The USGS study goes on to say bass in general appear to be sensitive to estrogenic chemical exposure, particularly in regard to development of intersex. The prevalence and severity of immature eggs in smallmouth bass correspond with the percent of agricultural land use in the watershed above collective states. You guys can go and check out the study, read more of this one. She's basically saying the chemical compounds associated with estrogenic endocrine disruption, in particular estrone, a natural estrogen, were basically found in these watersheds, and that's one of the reasons they think is causing this transsexual situation. Now when I started thinking about this, I was thinking about OSG because she is always preaching the soy-free thing, because soy is actually an estrogen mimicker, and she's taught me some about that. She knows all about it. She developed an allergy to soy, kind of dedicated part of her career to studying the soy thing, and I got to thinking, soy in all those crops, I wonder if it's running off. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an official biologist per se, but that is something to think about. Let me know what you think about soy running off from the crops in the comments. You think that could be a valid theory? Now this is the latest study right here. This popped up in my news feed. This is from 2017 right here. And it says fish becoming transgender from contraceptive pill chemicals being flushed down household drains. And that is from the London Telegraph. It says a fifth of male fish are now transgender because of chemicals from contraceptive pills being flushed down household drains. Who the heck even does that? Like, I don't know anybody that's flushing, I guess it's kind of a personal thing, but why would you do that? First of all, if you're on the pill? Aren't you supposed to be taking it? Not flushing it down the drain? These are mysteries of the female situation I'll never know. The study goes on to say similar things as the other ones, that the chemicals causing these effects include ingredients of the contraceptive pill and byproducts of cleaning agents, plastics, cosmetics, and all that weird stuff that's going into the drains. It states here that tests showed 20% of male freshwater fish, I guess this is over there, because it says such as roach. Anybody know what a roach fish is? Any European fish freaks here know what a roach is? I don't know, because we squash them suckers here. 20% of male fish, such as the roach, at 50 sites had feminine characteristics, which basically means they're producing eggs. Now this Professor Tyler here, he also says that there's research that has shown that many other chemicals that are discharged through sewage treatment can also have effects on fish, including antidepressant drugs that reduce the natural shyness of fish, prey, and predator species. So to simplify what he's basically saying there on that is the little fish are not scared of the big fish anymore. They're like, oh, hey, big fish, I'm not scared of you. I'm not gonna hide in the cover. I'm just gonna stand out here in the open. We're all gonna be friends and then eaten. Now, gay, transsexual fish, who cares, right? As long as they're still there and we're catching them. All these studies are basically showing is that we need to take a little bit of precaution in managing our fisheries. It's all about sustainability. You know, I want my children, if I have them, to go on and be able to catch the same fish that I was catching. And we've seen a dwindling in size and, you know, different changes in fisheries. Fisheries are rapid, they can be explosive or they can be diminishing very quickly. They're just very sensitive, they're hypersensitive. So when I put my hand on a big bass and I'm lifting it to my face to give it a sniff, no, I don't care. I don't care if it's a male or female. But what I do care about is that it knows what it's supposed to do when I put it back in the water and it's time for spawning season to go make more babies. So areas like the Potomac that are having this issue more and more frequently, you have to wonder down the road, if you extrapolate this, is this gonna cause an issue with the spawning fish? Are they gonna even know what to do? Or will they adapt, being more and more and more female? Will they eventually trans back into more male to sustain those populations? Because that's a real possibility. If they're changing this quickly through, you know, small alterations in the water column, could they also change back to become whatever they need to? It's kind of like the old saying in Jurassic Park, nature finds a way. And there are hermaphroditic fish in the ocean. You know, they can do whatever they need to survive. But if you're talking about a species that is set up to be male, female, and reproduce at this time and produce this amount of eggs and this amount of sperm, and you have male that are basically losing their sperm and starting to produce eggs, is that gonna be sustainable? So let your comments fly. This is gonna be an interesting comment section, I believe. Now, I think these studies are actually looking at a macro level, and if I had to guess down the road, I don't think this is gonna be a big issue, just because the sections of fish that are performing at the way nature intended them to and really producing are going to outweigh the fish that are having some issues with their gender identity. But I don't know, I'm just a fishing freak that likes science. But I invite all of you, if you're a biologist or if you're just a fishing freak like me and you got an opinion, let her fly down below. And don't forget to check back here every Thursday and Sunday. I will have videos for you guys, and often there's one or two bonuses in between. And if you want to support the channel, you can hit up the Texas Rig shirts. You can go to the link down in the description to pick you up one of them bad boys. And subscribe to the channel, because we got more juicy content coming your way. Thanks for being here, Fishing Freaks. Hope you learned a little something and sparked a little curiosity, and we'll see you on the next adventure.